This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
It's the Dirty Laundry Game-Worn Hockey Podcast.
We're old school, right? We wash our own dirty laundry.
The name on the front is a hell of a lot more important than the one on the back.
I refuse to be judged by a grown man wearing a hockey jersey.
Game on! Game on!
We are back with another episode of the Dirty Laundry Game-Worn Hockey Podcast, episode 137. We want to welcome a wonderful guest who's going to have an extremely busy weekend starting tomorrow. So we won't keep him too long so he can at least rest a little bit. Welcome, Francis.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We caught up a while before started recording. It's just fun talking about the expos, and you were commenting about the pictures from LA and the San Jose expos and that. And it's cool to that all that stuff is shared. So even if we're in the Midwest or the East Coast, can still at least enjoy a little bit of what was there.
Right.
And then we'll be doing the same thing on Monday or sooner with the pictures from your expo this weekend with Nova.
Cool. I'm going to take a lot, so.
Well, we appreciate that. From last week, again, we want to thank Melly for coming on, and sorry we missed Riley. He messaged me a day or two later. He had not been feeling well at all, but reached out to me and was sad he missed. But thank you, Melly, for covering that. My drink this evening is, for my old fashioned, is bourbon called Hogsworth. It is and it's the label's weird, but it's a good stuff. It says it is at least 9.4 years old.
Nice.
A lot of places won't actually put the exact age, but it's at least that old, so I'll take it. Good stuff. Cheers, everybody.
Yep. Cheers.
Speaking of drinking, the clock is ticking for me to meet and hang out with him, that being Mitch, with the Drink Your Face Off line of barware and clothing. He will be out in Vegas. Helping out our other sponsor, Patrick, with Public Display of Collection. He'll have a table set up for that and helping and Patrick. So it'll be a good combination of sponsors and things, and working with Patrick to get giveaways squared away for Vegas. So that will be fun. And we are 2 weeks from tomorrow or from Saturday, if my math is right, because a week from Sunday is Easter. So the 2 weeks from Saturday.
Your math is correct.
Yep.
Shocking at this time of night after a long day, but it is coming fast. And I mean, it's funny. You see, Francis, just like you with Nova, as you see the date and it's so far away, and then it's here. It is crazy.
This is my stress week. Yeah.
And at least next week, because you said you're on spring break with your job, at least next week you can put away and recover.
Yep. At 2:01 tomorrow Eastern time, I'll be on spring break till the following Tuesday. Yep.
Phenomenal. And see, then I'll give you time to pack stuff so you could do a last minute trip to Vegas.
Yeah.
I tried. I tried to get him out there.
I would love to do that, but it's just hard.
We'll keep trying. We don't give up easily.
And hey, the Frozen 4 Expo moves around, so there's all kinds of options in the future. Also wanted to mention Mitch again with the sale at Mitch's this weekend. What do you all the details of that, Paul?
Yeah, so up at Mitch's shop, the sheet metal factory that's in San Carlos. And we can get you details on the exact address and stuff, but it's going to be a lot of, bobbleheads, T-shirts, Hawaiian shirts from the Sharks, a lot of, pucks, lower, memorabilia type stuff, and then also a modest number of game-worn jerseys. Mitch will bring out a rack or two. I'll bring a rack of my $200 Sharks and Barracudas that, I want out of the house. And I think we're starting about 8 or 9 on Saturday. And normally we'll go to like 2 or 3, and hopefully it's not too crazy hot out. The weather's been insane out here lately with the heat. But
ours has been because it can't decide what the hell it's going to do. Today I was in St. Louis and it was 91 degrees. currently storms are going through with they're calling for tennis ball size hail possible, and it's currently 55, and it'll be 50 tomorrow. So you can enjoy your constant warm weather. We've been tornadoes and snow 2 days apart here.
I'm saying our 95-degree days seem perfect compared to that. So I'm not, yeah.
Especially hail damage.
We will probably pull out the Zamboni for the.
Oh yes, the Zamboni.
So if you need a photo with the Zamboni, stop on by. Check out what we have there. It's it's always a fun time up there at Mitch's.
I still wish we could put that in the lobby of the New York.
I don't think we have time to drive it there now.
No, hey, thoughts for the future. Touch on auctions real quick. There's most of them are the same. There's a couple things I do want to get a little bit deeper in. The Olympic jerseys across almost all the teams are out there. They go till April the 5th. The Sabres military jerseys were posted out there a day or so ago. They also go till the 5th. Cool piece if you're an Oilers fan, or if you just want a piece that is those kind of things don't come to market often, is also at NHL auctions, is a 24-25 the Edmonton Oilers player of the game hard hat, and it's the award for their home games. It's autographed by Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, has the stickers of every player that won it and put it on for the games that year. That goes 4 days left on that. That is currently only at $1,407. It's a nice, well-painted, cool, very cool helmet. And you just don't see those locker room awards like that show up anywhere. So it would be a really cool piece, even if you're not an Oilers fan, but wanted a very unique piece from any team.
Right. That would be cool to have. Yeah.
We'll follow it to see where that one closes at. These will close during our show tonight because you'll be listening to it on Friday. Unfortunately, they already closed. We may touch on if any of the crazy prices, but the Minnesota Wild auction that Migrator is running, the 11 and 12 Reds and the 0203 green jerseys, and some we'll see if they finish with any bids. A few of them had no bids at all. And some of them I was very surprised how low pricing was. Let's see. Other ones around the thing. Team Finland, that was posted in the main group. Team Finland, who were auctioning off themselves. They start on March the 30th. If you go to the main group, you'll find the link's been posted in there for that. Team USA women's jerseys, those are also available, but they close on the 30th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. They just opened this past Wednesday. I'm surprised it didn't go longer. And doing just a kind of a quick look around to see where some of these are. Caroline Harvey's at $2,300. Megan Keller's at $25. There's a lot, $500-$600 range. Hillary Knight's $2,850. Kendall Coyne's at $1,000. Arian Frankel's $1,600, and Abby Murphy at $2,050. I think it seems like there's some missing in this roster, but I don't have the memory of the women's roster in my head that great, but it seems like there's some missing out of that.
Did they mention which games they were worn in?
You know what? Let me.
I have not, with other expo planning, I have not had the time really to dig into those.
And that is on Givergy in the main group as well. There have been more complaints about people winning, and the auction's not over yet, but knowing they're the winning bid, then they get a notification they were outbid, and then they sign in the next day, and then they're back to having the winning bid again. So I don't know why the hell they're making it so easy for people to withdraw bids. That it's kind of frustrating.
Isn't that the same platform Canada used, if I remember right?
Yes, that was. And then Canada got burned with the whole thing anyway because of having to switch to the issued. These were worn during the at least this, and I just pulled one of them. Barnes jersey out of here, Kayla Barnes. It's white game worn Kayla Barnes jersey, size 54, worn during the preliminary game on February 9th. Oh, okay. Sorry. I guess I should read better. Preliminary game on February 9th, Team USA versus Switzerland, and February 10th, Team USA versus Canada. So 2 games
Nice.
in these, which was better than I think most of the men's jerseys we saw,
Yeah.
at least how they were described. Yeah, February 9th, February 10th. I'm checking a couple others all show up.
Did they say sets they wore?
It does not.
No.
I may try and reach out and see if they can tell us.
Mhm.
But yeah, no information on that. So it just says a COA will accompany the item, and all funds go to the USA Hockey Foundation Friends of Women's Hockey Fund.
Okay.
So just a few days to bid on those. The Boston Bruins, their set 2 homes are out. I think they started today or yesterday. So I do know I saw, because again, checking around everywhere, Classic has an auction coming up in April. No catalog info or anything out there yet, but I did see that they're teasing an April auction. One more thing before we get into the wonderful discussion with Francis on Nova is there was the official notice I believe most of us received in emails. Thank you for your interest in the U.S. Olympic men's hockey game-worn jersey auction. We sincerely apologize, but we will not be receiving jerseys this year and therefore unable to move forward with the auction. We appreciate your enthusiasm and support of our game-worn jersey auctions. What the hell?
Really?
I mean, even Team Canada got an issued set. So did USA not wear as many? I'm thinking they all probably, at least for the men's side, I'm going to take the women's out of the equation for a minute, but you'd think pretty much everybody was wearing the same number-ish.
Well, we know USA for the one game was wearing the same jersey in warm-ups in the first period.
Yes.
The ones from the silent auction from our friends at Fanatics.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the ones showing up on the NHL auctions are a specific game guaranteed to be worn at least one period. So, I mean, we have no idea how many sets are out there.
Yeah, there's a crap. I mean, there is a crap ton, honestly, and it's sad and frustrating that Team USA didn't get something, and it's got to have pissed them off. You would think, anyway. But
I would assume so. I mean, I was shocked they're getting nothing. I mean, we've already been over the Team Canada mess.
Yes.
A couple times, and it's just sad that they didn't get it. It's both are charities, both are for fundraisers, and instead, Fanatics is getting sets, which I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
Right, and I went back to the auction. I pulled up Austin Matthews to get the description off of it. Jersey was worn by Austin Matthews during the preliminary round 6-3 victory over Denmark on February 4th as part of the games in Milan, Italy. Collected on behalf of the NHLPA and NHL, blah, 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 blah. And then please note, in some situations, a player will wear multiple jerseys during a game. These game-worn jerseys are verified to have been worn at least one period of the specified game. These jerseys are game used, sold as is. His at least does have some board burns and stuff on one sleeve. I wish they would put, because they have all that information because they did track it, put it in the damn auction.
Yeah.
Was it wore a full game? Was it worn one period? What was it? Don't be, well, it could have been. No, put all of that up front, because if it's a whole game or if maybe they somehow did multiple, it's going to go up in price, especially for somebody like Matthews.
Yeah, and not knowing it's going to hurt.
Yep.
It's
100%. And the side discussion, which we saved from last week, we were going to touch on it then, and I had hoped to reach out to figure out if somebody in Fanatics or USA Hockey or whatever tell us what those were, but the game worn Olympics jerseys that the Team USA baseball team wore. And how are those going to be sold, or what are they going to do with those? And how will that documentation be?
Are they even going to get them back from the baseball team?
Right.
It's
Was it because it almost was like they were kind of handing them to him as a gift, at least in some of the PR videos and stuff. I'm hopeful it was more of a PR stunt to then make extra money by, and of course Team USA did so well in the baseball tournament. But to have that crossover. So to be curious to see what happens, but it's like, come on, just more documentation is, no matter what you're involved in, is better than not enough.
Yep.
So I did not pay too much attention to the transfer from the hockey team to the baseball team, and the baseball team wearing them whenever they did wear them. But what I've heard from other friends who looked at it, most of the jerseys, if not all of them, seem very clean. That it could have even been a game issued set.
And it's maybe that's the set that Team USA probably should have got.
Yeah.
But even like looking at the Austin Matthews one, is the burns on them are, let's say, superficial. They're not heavy or deep holes. They're just burns in that fabric. So at least with what we could see, and I'd be curious to see if there's some good Getty photos or stuff from that baseball game with them wearing those, if you could then maybe pick out a little bit more. But yeah, if it's either issued or a game that nobody played real heavy in, you may not see anything.
Very possible.
But we'll keep trying to dig into it, or if somebody has some insider baseball info on that, no pun intended, shoot that to us, please. And again, we keep names out of stuff if you don't want to be mentioned, but it's just like any other secret source. Your secret is safe with us. Now that we've rambled through all those things, this is the 20th year or 25th? I don't remember which you told me before, Francis.
The 20th year.
Wow. That is a big congratulations on that. And 20 years ago, one, did you think you'd be here 20 years later still doing it? And 20 years ago, what made you start it?
No, I didn't think it'd still be going. And 2006, me and a couple friends, Derek Whitwer, and I'm trying to think of the other gentleman. I can't think of his name right now, but we were talking about doing an expo, and I said, well, I'll try it. And the first year we had 6 people show up. And I said, okay, well, we tried it. It was great. 6 people was great. And then a couple months later, I got a email and said, hey, you're going to do the expo again? I said, well, I never thought about it. And I did it again, and then it's just taken off.
And now you sell out tables, what, a month or two before the expo, right? Normally, don't you?
Usually when I post tables for sale, it's a good chance the last few years they've sold out like in an hour.
Wow.
Because I've had people that want a table the year before saying, put me down for next year. Like last year, I had like 6 people come up to me and said, oh, this is my first time coming. I want a table next year. I said, okay. So that's really nice. And so, yeah, usually they're gone like in about an hour or two when I post them for sale. Yeah, because I have a waiting list of guests that want to come.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, no complaints here. Yeah, it's a problem to have, and it's been a great time, and I can't thank everybody enough for their continued support for 20 years. I've had people come every year, and it's just words can't describe how I feel about Nova. How many people that come, and it's just like one big happy family, as you know, when we go to all these expos, like Wade's, or we go out to LA or George's show in South Philly, My Gray. It's like one big family. It's a great time. Yeah.
Now, what's the biggest thing, of course, besides the growth of the show, that you've seen change in the 20 years?
The biggest thing,
Or something that you've really noticed change over the last 20 years?
Me personally, I've noticed a lot. I like a lot of new collectors that have come that's like never been, and they'll buy a jersey, or like I have one gentleman that comes every year that sets up with hockey cards, and um, and usually I try to have the show around a hockey tournament where a lot of families stay at the hotel, and people come in, they'll buy cards, or they may go to a like my gray or another table, might buy a practice jersey or something, and then they'll come every year, and then their kids will come, and every year. So I've noticed that like a lot of families will come with their kids, and so I've noticed that the last couple of years where I'm like, oh yeah, I remember you a couple of years ago. Now your kids coming now, and so something like that, yeah. So
That's cool. What over these 20 years, what's been like one of the things that happened that completely blew your mind?
well, one year I was we were set up at the Holiday Inn, and I'm just sitting at the front, and I welcome people into the door and stuff, and Kevin Kaminsky came in. He heard about the show, and I had no idea he was coming. He just came in. I guess he's part owner of a IHL team or AHL team. So he came in with the owner, and he was in walking around and taking pictures and signing autographs for people. That was one of the highlights one year of the show. And then one year Adam Oates came, and he thought it was great. He was walking around and said it was a great day, a lot of really cool stuff. And so that's, and then other than just, just meeting people, from all over, and new people to the hobby, veterans, and and everybody's asking questions, and everybody's really super nice, and yeah, so yep.
And before we started recording, I was giving you tips on some tips to stay hydrated and things like that, because you don't. I mean, you say, oh, you're just standing around. I'm like, when I tell people that we go to these things, kind of how it happens, it's like, no, you'll be surprised how much you walk around, how shot your voice is by the end of the day, how physically and mentally exhausted you are, but in a good way.
Yep. Yeah. And it goes by so fast, I get there like Friday night around 4, and I get down to the room. The hotel's really nice. They have the room set up for me. Then I get in there, and people come in and help me set up the room, because a lot of the years I would just set it up the whole thing by myself, and people come and say, oh, have you ever asked for help? I go, no, because you're my guest. I don't want you to work. I said, you're my guest. I want you to. So now everybody wants to come and help, which is great. And I love it. So we all get in the room, and I set up the room the way I want it. And we're all just hanging out in the room. We order pizza and have some drinks. And then I get down the next morning around 7, and people start coming in to set up. But the room's all done the way I want it. And by the time people set up, it's over. It's just like Paul knows.
Oh, yeah.
Jason, you set up, and all of a sudden you got to break down. I'm like, God, it's 4:00 already.
God, imagine how that's going to feel in Vegas, Paul, being 7-2 because of the early game.
Yeah, I mean, I wish that game was later, but it's, at least we're all, well, a lot of us are staying in the same hotel, so we can break down quickly, throw the jerseys up in our room, and head over to T-Mobile.
Yeah, go out the back door, hang a left, and you're in the arena.
Yeah. Oh yeah, is the expo is close to the T-Mobile?
It's at New York, which is literally right on the plaza of T-Mobile. So you exit New York, and you're right on the plaza, which I guess it's probably another 40, 50 yards to get inside T-Mobile.
Nice. So. I'm sure that's going to be an awesome time.
I'm so looking forward to it. I mean, I hate that I have not been able to make it out for your expo yet. I've heard so many great things about it over the years. I know you've made it out here for shows, LA in the last, relatively recently.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and just St. Louis this past October. I know you did a nice little Midwest tour, checking out Kansas City and stuff, and we got to spend some time with you. And Nova's on my very short list too to get out east because, well, I've been out there in other things for daughters gymnastics and stuff. Want to actually get out there for hockey.
Yeah, we'd love to have you. You know, you're always welcome. Yeah.
Try to take the podcast on the road any place I go.
Yeah. It's a good time. I mean, I've met so many wonderful people and formed, relationships for 20 years through Nova, and it's been an amazing ride, you know, and so I hope we keep it going, and we've got a lot of new collectors, you know. Every year there's somebody new that's getting hooked in this hobby. You know how it is. You buy one shirt, you're hooked. It's like getting a tattoo. Once you get one, you know, and I just met so many wonderful people at all the expos, you know, when Michael Rulin was doing it, you know, I met so many wonderful people out there, and Migrate, I meet wonderful people, Georgia's show, you know, and when I go to Wade's show, I meet people out there, you know, it's like one big family. I love it. You know?
Side note, since you mentioned it, how many tattoos do you have now?
God, I'm probably up to 30.
Anybody who hasn't met Francis yet, or if you're going to the expo, the Nova Expo this weekend for the first time, stop and ask him about his tattoos because they are all kick ass. I mean, they really are. And for anybody that doesn't know Francis, what is your other, I guess, hobby, for lack of a better word?
I collect guitar picks because I go to a lot of concerts and I know a lot of bands, and I collect guitar picks, and that's about it. Yeah.
And it's rock, heavy metal, those kind of things. Because I know we talked a lot about Ozzy stuff when you were in St. Louis.
Yeah, it's more like I like a pretty good selection of like metal, black metal, death metal. You know, I grew up in the '80s, hair bands, but I listen to a lot of really weird, obscure stuff because people say, "What are you listening to?" And I tell them, they go, "I've never heard of that band." I go, "Yeah, nobody has. Nobody's heard of any of those bands, you know." So, but yeah, I listen to a lot of different music, and so I got John Pizzullo from New Jersey to thank for that because he got me into a lot of like hardcore, and yeah, so I thank him for that. Yeah, so he's a good dude. Yeah, so yeah.
I mean,
and hey, we all have some other, at least partial, some other kind of hobby. That's a cool one, and seeing those tattoos and that last October was awesome.
What about you? You have other hobbies?
Anymore, it's become collecting podcasts because I'm now a producer of the 4th podcast, another one locally, and then shirts like the crazy shirts I wear. That's what actually I drove to St. Louis today to meet representatives from that company. They did a kind of meet and greet hangout before the opening day of Cardinals baseball. Because one of the guys, he lives in Florida, but he is a huge Cardinals fan, so they fly back every year for opening day in St. Louis, and they gave out shirts and just got together to hang with those guys. And I was actually talking to them because, again, we can help sell their market for it. And it's been talked about a lot for years, is doing hockey ones. Two of their targets, and he explained how much work goes into it. And I get why it's taking so long, but they have on their staff, because they're based in New Jersey, but they want to do Rangers ones and they want to do Blues ones. So they're working on all that. But I have over 100 of these crazy shirts. Like the one I'm wearing right now just looks like a solid pink shirt, but up close it is Big League Chew, the pink gum. That's the pattern all over this shirt.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So I wear all kinds of IPs. I love the movie Aliens. They did a bunch of shirts and stuff for those. The Disney movie Tron, they did stuff with that. I even have the replica of the jacket that from Home Alone, Gus, the polka guy. I have his jacket. So come November through December, everywhere I go, people recognize that jacket.
Nice.
So that's kind of my other collecting hobby, but not quite as expensive as game worn jerseys, but their new shirts are $70 a piece. So it does add up too.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true.
But Paul
What about-
collects everything.
Yeah. What
No,
about you,
not
Paul?
quite that bad, but yes.
Yeah.
A lot of music, a lot of books. Yeah, I mean, also a lot of the bands I like, people have never heard of, except for, friends I have from there. One of my favorite bands is Ghost.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
the Ghost, no, not the Ghost you know from Sweden, but Ghost from Japan, which predates Ghost from Sweden, and they're more of a modern psychedelic band.
Okay.
And,
How
bands
the
like
hell do
Acid
they get
Mother's
away with
Temple.
having the same name?
I think the Ghost from Sweden was called something slightly different, and then Ghost actually, called it a day. They're still all friends and all, but the band Ghost from Japan doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
So then it was no longer an issue.
Makes
I can't
sense.
remember what the Sweden Ghost called themselves, but I mean, there's a lot of great bands from Sweden. I mean, Spacious Minds comes to mind right away, no pun intended.
A lot of up Francis's alley, a lot of Swedish death metal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Motorpsycho. Well, they're Norwegian, but still, yeah.
And see, that's what I at least know the name of. I couldn't tell you if I heard their song, I would know, oh yeah, I know that's that person, but I at least know that name.
Right. Nice. Yeah, and I also have excuse me, I have a heavy metal book called the Encyclopedia of Heavy Metal, and I get that autographed by bands whenever I go and see. So I got like 1,200 signatures in that book.
Wow.
So I bring that when I go to shows and stuff, and so that's pretty cool to do. Yeah, so that's another little thing that I do when I go to shows, because I go to a lot of concerts. Yeah.
So with that, anybody going to Nova this weekend, if you don't want to talk hockey all the time, go talk to Francis about music.
That's happened in the past, Jason.
We did some of that because
That's right.
I
Yep.
worked in rock radio here locally for 6 years and got to see different concerts, big and small, and all those things. Of course, now I made the joke, I'm paying the price for it, because now for the past year I've had hearing aids, and part of it's because of the concerts I went to. The other half being sirens and engines on fire trucks, but combination of the two, has led me to, as I told my nephew, the most expensive pair of iPod earbuds ever. $7,000 earbuds.
Yeah.
Because I do stream my music and podcast through it still because it's convenient.
Yeah. Yep.
But getting back into the show some, over these 20 years, and it is maybe a little hard to remember, what was a jersey that came through that door that just completely blew your mind?
I'd say probably a Bobby Orr Blackhawks or a Eddie Shore Wool Bruins from like 27.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, is that the oldest jersey you've seen in at Nova as well?
Yeah. Shore was the oldest I've ever seen at Nova. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. And then the Hartford Whalers, the Gordie Howe and Mark Howe jerseys were there. My Gray Brothers. But,
Yep, seen those. Those are beautiful.
But the Eddie Shore Wool, a 55 Blackhawks was there at the show one year. But I'd have to say probably the Eddie Shore. Yeah, you just don't see that stuff.
No, not at all. And it's so crazy because, I mean, all of us are so used to looking at what I'll call modern NHL jerseys, call it 80 up.
Right.
But when you get those older ones like that, just seeing like Paul seeing the Howe at the LA Expo,
The Howe
is what
and Clancy. Yeah.
You look at those and it's drastically different. It's a sweater.
Yep.
While we call our jerseys sweaters now, I mean, it's material designed specifically for playing. Back then, like you said, it was wool and that, and it's crazy to look at and go, I can't put that on. I can, and I mean, it is. I mean, so many times we talked about the Hall of Fame, Hockey Hall of Fame before we came on. Is yeah, you can walk through there and you're looking through glass. You can touch these. You can, if you ask nice, maybe pick them up. But it's though outside of these kind of opportunities, you're not going to do that at the Hall of Fame.
No,
They'd laugh you right out of the place.
and Eddie Shore was photo master. I'm like, how do you have photos from like 1924? It's just weird, but yeah, it was incredible to see. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, how do you wear these? I mean, but the equipment back then is nothing like it is today, of course, but because we're all wearing like, what are the goalies wearing? Like 60 goalie cut, 58 goalie cut, because their equipment's so big.
I swear I saw one in either the AHL or East Coast that was actually tagged 62.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think because the guy was like 6'5" or 6'6", I think I swear I saw that, but I mean, it's a super rare size. But yeah, on average, 58 or 60 G goalie cut.
I wonder what Vasilevsky's wearing, because he's a big guy. I wonder if he's over.
He's in a 60, and part of it is just how they've got the chest protectors. Because I mean, you've met me in person, Francis, and kind of know my size. I mean, I look super bulky once I throw my chest protector and stuff on, and look like a whole different person. Still can't stop pucks well, but at least I look good. But what are you excited most about this year, being the 20th anniversary?
Just being the 20th year, I still can't believe that it's been 20 years and it's still a popular expo, and I'm just looking forward to seeing everybody. Everybody's excited to come and getting emails, looking forward to seeing everybody, and it's just nice to see that everybody's looking forward to having a nice weekend, even though it's going to be 59 here and raining. But it's better than 90.
Inside. What's it matter?
I guess it's better than 95 or hail. And I mean, just seeing everybody coming and smiling and just having a good day, and and we do a lot of trading and drinking on Friday night, and then we all get together after the show on Saturday. A lot of us go out to eat after, and some people go home, or some people stay the extra night, and because the airport's like basically right across the street, Dulles Airport. They have a shuttle, which is nice, and a lot of people stay Saturday night, and then sometimes after the show we'll go back to one of our rooms and do some drinking and trading in there, and then we'll all go out to dinner, and then everybody goes their separate way, and it's just, yeah, that's what I like.
And then you get excited for next year doing it all over again.
Yeah, I already have it booked for 2027 already. Yeah,
good for you.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's all taken care of. So that's one less thing I got to worry about. And then but like I said, just seeing this a lot of the same people and meeting new people that are setting up, and I got like 4 new people that are coming this year. And then some people say, yeah, I'm going to come this year. I've never been. I've heard about it. I said, yeah, we'd love to have you. And I send them all the info, and yeah, so it's nice to meet new people every year. And then yeah, but it's 20 years, and how time flies, man.
Now, what is your favorite piece to bring?
Well, I have a 96.7 white Adam Oates that's just in rough shape. I bring that, and I got a base Battaglia Carolina Hurricanes white, and it's got a bunch of stains on it. It's from Champaign, because that's the year they won the division, and that's the one where Steve Chason crashed his truck driving home. They have the number 3 patch on the sleeve, and it's really nice. And like my Don Sweeney finals patch, I bring that. Or my last hurrah pass. He scored the last goal at Boston Garden in that shirt. I have that. I bring that. And yeah, I don't bring much because I haven't set up a table in a couple of years because I just want to make sure everybody's happy, what they got. So I'm walking around the room all day long, just making sure everybody's what they need and stuff. So yeah. So I just want to make sure everybody has what they need. And so, yeah.
That champagne jersey is awesome. You had that in St. Louis. It was so cool to see because it's again, didn't get washed, didn't right off the guy's back and celebrating. And just such a different seeing different things on jerseys is fun. I mean, yeah, we all look to see what the wear, the repairs are, but okay, why is that stained? And champagne celebrating it, so that even brings that closer.
Yep. So that's a great shirt. And but like I said, just spending the day with friends and meeting new people. I mean, that's just what it's all about, really. And seeing people's collections because people bring stuff out. I'm like, you just don't see that stuff. Like when I was in St. Louis, with Brian's collection, I'm like he had the Vegas stuff. I'm like, you don't see this stuff, or Wade stuff, or the guy in the corner. I don't know his name. He has all the Phillies. I mean, not the Phillies, but the Cardinals stuff, like the bats. I'm like, the jerseys. I'm like, that stuff's cool to see. I like that stuff, And I mean, I got a few Red Sox jerseys, but nothing like the Cardinals collectors, But it's cool to see other stuff, So, yep.
Paul, you have any questions?
Yeah, I mean, you've been doing this, you said 20 years now. Does it get easier, more difficult, or just the same? Because, I mean, just with all the experience on it, curious what your thought is.
The only thing that really concerns me is I'm trying to find a place that's big enough that I can get everybody in there. And I'm always concerned about the price, because it's not cheap. And, and I'm hoping people will commit to the show because I always have people that cancel, which happens, which happens. But does it get easier? No. Like I tell people, like this week is my stress week. I stress because I just want everything to go right. I don't, that's just how I am. And knock wood, I've never had really any major issues over the years. I've had a couple issues, but I've dealt with that, I took care of that, but that's done. That's past tense, but
Good.
yeah, but no, it doesn't get easier. No. And it's just, but I just want to make sure I find the right place. I mean, I've been at the Holiday Inn for 18 years, they've been good. I went and I went one year, I had a problem with them, and I said, well, I'll just take my business elsewhere. And I went somewhere else and it was a smaller place, and we worked it out. And then I went, a couple years ago, I went to a Westin, which was really nice. And I had 70 tables at that show.
Wow.
And that's when Adam Oates came. And, but then I wanted to stay there, but they said, well, we got to raise they go, well, we're doing a renovation that was going to cost more. And I'm like, well, that has nothing to do with me.
Yeah. It's the cost of doing business.
Right. But I'm like, I'm bringing in you like 70 tables plus hotel rooms and food. So I'm buying the room, plus I'm having guests stay at your hotel, plus we're buying your food. It's not like you're not making money. So I said, well, and I told him, I said, I want to do a 5-year contract at this amount of money, and I'll sign it, but they did no. They said, we'll do a year. I go, no, I'm committing to you a 5-year contract, but they wouldn't go for it. I'm like, I'll sign it. Just lock in this price for 5 years. I said, you're going to be making money because guests are going to stay here. We're going to eat here. I'm like, they didn't go for it. So I'm like, okay, well, Have a nice day.
That's
Yeah.
super unfortunate, but
It is. It really is, But the Holiday Inn's been great. They really take care of me. I can get in the room tomorrow at 2, but I'll be working. So I get off at 2, and I'm just gonna come home and get my stuff and then go out there. And then, like I said earlier, people are there and they come in the room and help me out, which is great. I love it. And like I said, we get the room set up the way I want it. This is one less headache I got to deal with Saturday morning. As Paul probably knows, you want the room right for your guest, and
Yeah, ask Melly and Gina about Melly and Riley about that.
yeah,
From L.A. When they came in, the tables were the 18-inch wide tables. And then the frantic rearranging in less
yep,
than 45 minutes.
yeah,
And they did it.
yeah.
It's great.
And one thing,
Oh,
yeah,
go ahead, Francis.
oh, I'm sorry. One thing I get is I get a lot of requests for wall space. People. I said that's fine. I can work it out. So I try to accommodate everybody I can, and I just want everybody to be happy. You know how it is, Paul. And
Oh yeah.
Jason. And that's just how I. So yeah.
Yeah,
But
I think.
yeah, I'm sorry. It doesn't get easier though. Just to
No,
earlier.
and it kind of leads to my thought on this. I think everyone in this hobby should be involved at some point in your collecting lifetime of organizing one of these things, because it's just amazing the amount of work, effort, money, stress that goes into it. And
Yeah.
you're right, the stress just getting everything finalized, and I'm very looking forward to Vegas. Not lying at all, but I have a certain level of stress because it's at a new location, a new city where there hasn't been an expo in 20. Well, before you started doing expos, Francis,
Right.
and who a lot of unknowns there. And the people I'm working with at New York, they've been great, but they're more used to working with businesses who are putting on trade shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Still keep reminding them we're a bunch of collectors coming in there to show stuff, and some of them just don't grasp the concept yet.
No, they
that's
don't.
why you invite them all and say, hey, if you're around Saturday, stop by so you can see what this thing is like. So if future people come here or we say, hey, this is a good hotel to do this, you'll have a better understanding of what it is.
Yep.
Exactly. And I always try to get the people who have the facility to see what's going on, and they're always shocked. Because they don't know this hobby exists, and if they have any interest in the sport at all, they're just blown away by some of the stuff they see in there.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm still blown away after 20 years, and I see stuff that comes in there, and I'm like I was telling Jason earlier, I'm like, I didn't think that existed. I've heard about it, but then I see it up close, and I touch it, or like Jason said earlier, can I try it on? I'm like, when am I going to try on a, Mario Lemieux Stanley Cup Finals jersey? Never. Hall of Fame ain't going to let me do it. No, but people are nice. If you ask a collector or a dealer, well, more of a collector, but I know dealers are looking to sell stuff, but dealers too, I guess. But if you say, hey, may I try that on? They're cool about it. Just don't take it off someone's mannequin and put it. They're like, hey, dude, what are you? I mean, I've seen that before.
Oh my, okay, that's a new one for me. So
yeah, when Jason was asking me earlier if I remember some stuff years ago. I remember one year when the Capitals were in the Winter Classic. There was a guy set up, and he had a couple goalie masks, and kids were walking by, and they grabbed the mask and they were playing with it. And I'm like, and I was standing close by, and I'm like, did you ask the gentleman if you could touch that? They go, no. I said, well, you need to ask before you start playing with a goalie mask from the Winter Classic. I mean, and stuff like that. I mean, they're kids, I get it, but you should know wrong from right because you're old enough.
Yeah, mom and dad won't want to have to write the check to replace that if something happened.
And it was a Winter Classic mask, and I'm like, but and I'm just like, you got to ask. But if you ask a collector or dealer, they're really cool about, hey, may I try that on? Or with a lot of people, like you said earlier, Jason, a lot of people say, what happened to the sleeve? Why is it all, or what's all the marks on there? A lot of people don't know that. Like if I go to a hockey game and like sometimes people say, "What happened to that jersey?" I said, "Oh, it's actually game worn by the player." Oh, and they don't know, but it's because I kind of educate them. I go, "Yeah, he wore this in 1995, and photo matched it." Oh, that's really nice. That's interesting. So kind of cool to kind of bring people into the hobby that way, So, yep.
And you do
I'll say, go ahead, Paul.
is there a trading event Friday night
We
at your
usually
expo? Yeah.
we usually get together on Friday night. A bunch of us have hotel rooms, so we'll maybe meet in somebody's room. When Michael Hogan comes, he usually has a get together. Like we'll order pizza and we'll all have drinks and stuff, and it'd be like trading going on. And then we'll go down to because at the hotel is like an Irish pub, which is kind of nice. So I'll go down there and drink and eat, and maybe go into the room, because some people bring in mannequins and racks the night before, and then I have the room locked up, and then but we usually have a get together, and usually Friday night, yeah. Like when we had a couple years ago when I did it at the Westin, where we had to get together Friday night, it was like a mini expo. You should have seen it. We had a room probably like 13 tables. It was like a little mini expo. It was incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, and it's just, and people come and yep. So, did you guys have something Friday night when you in LA?
Not no, we did not.
No.
At least
Yeah.
I know Mitch was there early, and I think he might have met a few people, but
Okay.
a lot of the LA crowd came from throughout the LA area. I mean, I was
Okay.
staying in Hermosa Beach then, so John
Okay.
Flynn drove me in, and I think like Mitch and Johnny might have been the only two staying at the hotel. Even
At
though
the
Johnny lives in LA, it's still.
right.
But yeah.
Yeah. Well, usually, yeah, we all bring drinks, and we just throw jerseys. Like usually there's like a rack of jerseys in the room, and everybody will come in maybe with a little bag of stuff and throw jerseys on the bed and wheel and deal and drink in. And by the time I'm like, oh my God, it's 11 o'clock, man. I gotta go get at least, because I hardly sleep, because I'm only like 20 minutes from the hotel, but my wife suggested I stay there because by the time I leave there and come home, I'm already stressed out. So she says, just stay there. And then, yeah.
So it's give me some peace and quiet at home. You go to the hotel now.
And then she comes on Saturday with my son and my daughter-in-law, and they walk around and
Nice.
check it out. And then they all leave, and yep. And then the show runs till 5, and we have to be out by 6. And like I said, we all usually just get a bunch of us and we go to a place called Johnny's Old Town Tavern, which is really good. Yeah, we go there, and then like I said, people usually stay the next day, or they fly out, or they'll drive home. So yep, yeah, it's a good time. Yeah, but I think the get together Friday night the expo is great. Don't get me wrong, I love it, but I think get together on Friday night is right up there, because it's just like it's a great group of people, man. As you know, all these expos are nothing but great people. I mean, it's just, yep. So it's a good time.
Yeah. We try to schedule a game on Friday night for the Saturday San Jose Expo. And for
Okay,
the last couple of years, that's worked really well. So,
nice.
people can get in town early, go to. The last couple of years, it's been all Barracuda centric. Because,
Okay,
they've basically been our expo host. And it's just a lot of fun. We'll get a suite or two up there, and everyone can just talk, and, um,
that's what it's
it's
all
just,
about.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's wonderful meeting everyone and seeing
it
them
is.
again. And,
Yep. I mean, I've met so many wonderful people over 20 years. I mean, it's just, yeah. I mean, friendship forever. The way I look at it,
And that's, I mean, you take the jerseys out and instead you've got guitar picks or whatever it is. While the discussions are different depending on what the thing is, the camaraderie, the friendships, and so all that are the same. We're all coming together around whatever we collect.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's
Even if
basically
it's a bunch of us showed up in a room and didn't have a single jersey, doesn't matter. We're telling stories about, hey, I just picked up this one. Here's this crazy story, or do you remember at this expo this happened? Whatever it is,
right.
it is. It's just all that, and it's that energy is so fun.
Yep. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's the best. It's got to be one of the best weekends of the year, you know, doing something like this, you know, but I love it, you know. And I mean, like I said earlier, I can't believe it's our 20th year. I mean, that's incredible, you know, but I don't see it slowing down anytime soon.
But it shows how great of an expo you are doing. I mean, and just the reputation you've built and the excitement with people coming in from all over to go. It just shows what you built, and you're the kind of, I guess, say that the godfather or one of the OG guys that did that. And because anytime you mention expo, no matter where is in the country, your name seems to come up.
Well, thank you. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. Thank you.
And I know every time somebody meets you, they're excited about meeting you just because your reputation precedes you.
Yeah. I try to be friendly with everybody, you know, and I respect everybody, and you know, so yep, a good time. We got to get you guys out there, of course.
Yes, we that is, like I said, you are on my very short list, because I'd say I hear about it and see the picture. Just looks so much fun being out there. I do love the East Coast. I think it's a beautiful area, and definitely want to make it work.
Yep. And yeah,
Go ahead, Francis.
I'm sorry, Paul. Can you hear me, Paul?
Oh, yes, I can. Yes.
Oh, because and when I come out to LA, it's a great time for me too, because my brother lives in Santa Barbara.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, well, you met him. I think you met him a couple years ago. He was there. He came.
Yeah. Yeah. I forget what town that is, but yes, where Michael had the show. No, that was great.
Yeah, yeah, and then yeah, so he came up, and then I went back with him, and then we drove down Highway 1. Is it Highway 1?
Yep, along the coast, right?
Yeah, yep. And by the Hearst Castle,
Yeah.
and we went to a Dodger game. It's the first time I ever had a Dodger dog, and then went to San Francisco Giants game, and it's the first time I ever had garlic fries. Oh
Nice.
my God, that's amazing. Yeah, that was a good time. Yeah, so
No, we're pretty spoiled out here. It's
yeah,
I love living in California.
Yeah, LA was nice. I enjoyed it. I wanted to go to In-N-Out Burger, but I didn't have enough time. It even when the show was when Michael did it at the other hotel, In-N-Out Burger was like right around the corner.
Yeah.
But I didn't have time because I flew in like Thursday night or Friday night, and I left Sunday. You know, I don't because I got to get back to work and stuff. That's the only thing I don't really like. If I go to another expo, I got to fly in and fly out. I wish I could stay longer, but I got to get back to work, and you know, so that's kind of a bummer. But yeah, I wish I could stay longer because to see other stuff like LA, or when I was in St. Louis, I went to some great places. Like I said, we went to Kansas City, but I wanted to see more sights in St. Louis. I mean, we got to see the Arch and have great barbecue. And we went to Jason. We went to was it I forget the name of the restaurant.
In Collinsville or in St. Louis?
St. Louis.
One of the barbecue places?
Yes. It was really
Oh crap. There's a few that are really, really good
Well,
ones. Sugar Fire's one.
Bryant's?
Yep. Yeah. I think that's the name.
Yeah, we went there because when we were in Kansas City, we went to the Negro League Hall of Fame because I wanted to go there. And then we went to, I think it was in Kansas City, Bryant's?
Yep, Arthur Bryant's in Kansas City, Missouri.
Nice.
Yep.
And then when we went to Wade's show, he told us about a really good Italian restaurant right by the expo. And we went there. My wife and I went there. It was really good. Yeah. So, but I wish I could stay longer to go to some other sites, but it's just, yeah. I got to plan that a little bit better, but yeah. So.
Well, again, Francis, being your 20th year, we wish you the best with this year's expo. We can't wait. We always enjoy seeing pictures, see what people do. and seeing people post stories after the fact. So as always, I hope it is a fantastic expo for you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I hope it will be. And then, yeah. So, but I'm looking 20 years, and yep. So,
And at least, like I say, with you being on spring break, you got some days to just recover and rest and take a breath and enjoy it, not have to rush back to work or anything.
yeah, we got some new furniture coming. Then, yeah, so we got to take care of that. But I plan on relaxing, and then hopefully I can get back to normal by maybe Tuesday for being not so stressed out. But I'm looking forward to it, and meeting new people that's never been. They're going to set up, which will be nice, and then tomorrow night should be cool. Yep. So it's going to be a good time.
With that, just a couple. Do you have any final thoughts, Paul?
Well, I think Francis might be the first guest we've had on who's, a really active collector, which we didn't ask any questions about your collection or what you collect.
No,
we only asked about the
I
expo.
feel remiss at that now.
Oh, I know. I figured you would. So rather than going through a litany of questions, I thought, Francis, it might be nice to do a quick summary of what you collect and what is on your want list. Right,
I collect mostly Boston Bruins, and Don Sweeney's my favorite player. I got about 67 of his jerseys.
Wow.
And I like shirts with good wear, and but mostly Boston Bruins. And I'm looking for a Don Sweeney turn back the clock. I've never seen one. I've seen it on a hockey card, but never in person. And I don't know if he has it or somebody has it. Yeah. So that's what I'd like to get, turn back the clock. Because I have both his final jerseys. I have his last hurrah. Like I said, I was telling Jason earlier, he scored the last goal in Boston Garden in that sweater. And I don't know if you ever saw the tribute to when they were Norm Levlier, when they were bringing him on the ice, final skate at Boston Garden. You ever see that?
I have not, no.
It was like a tribute to the final skate in Boston Garden. They brought out all the players. Oh. And Norm Levlier was out there. They had to help him skate and stuff. And then you could see Don Sweeney and Ray Bork on the side of the bench, and you can see like Don lifts his arm up, and there's like a big hole in the sleeve, and that's the shirt that I have, which I'll never get rid of. And but I'm turn back the clock, Don Sweeney. I'd like to get. I've never seen one. Yeah. So, what about you guys as far as something you've been like to get in your collection?
For me, that's a tough one. It's I'd love to get a still more older Michigan from the 50s and 60s.
Okay.
And for more recent stuff like Max Paxaretti, Michigan.
Oh.
Still would like to find a Quinn Hughes, Michigan, which during the auction, I was outbid on that one, and regretted ever since.
Yeah.
So it's I focus most of my stuff at Michigan. I do eventually need to pick up a Matty Bernays Seattle jersey, which isn't hard to find, but it has to be Adidas.
Okay.
Because I have that hard line in the sand. I can't cross over into Fanatics land. So but there's plenty out there. So that would be an easy one to find. But
yeah, me and Jason talked earlier about Fanatics before you came on, and I'm not.
You missed that conversation.
Yeah, I'm not sold on them yet. I have never bought anything from them, and I'm not sold on Fanatics yet. So maybe down the road I will be, but what about you, Jason? You got something on your Grail list you want?
Well, I have an issued / restored version of it over my shoulder, the Kelly Chase. I'd like to get, and I owned one at one time, a mid 90s one, they either straight stripe or actually even I owned one of his last year 99 2000 jerseys. I'd love to track that down again. His older ones are near end of career ones didn't have near the wear because he didn't fight and stuff as much. But I love the dazzle cloth of the 99 2000 jerseys and would love to pick up another one of those.
Right. Okay, nice. Well, maybe one day you'll get it. I'm sure you will.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. So, yep.
Stuff always surfaces.
Yeah.
It really does. I mean, yeah, it really does. Yeah.
So with that, wanted to touch on one final thing, a message that Paul forwarded to. We have a group chat, of course, for the podcast as things breaking news happens or whatever. So we're all in the loop on it. But he received a very nice message from a collector by the name of David, and it really brings home what we're doing and continues to help show us too that people do enjoy this, and it's not just, oh yeah, I listen to it, you guys do a fine show, whatever. But wanted to read the two parts of the message here. Hey, wanted to let you know your podcast has been great for me recently. I've always listened to a lot of podcasts, lots of politics and economics. Unfortunately, there's been an absence of good news recently in those fields. I've switched exclusively listening to the Dirty Laundry podcast. I'm a big runner and have a 30-minute commute each way. So you are on my every run and commute right now. So thanks for doing that. You're improving my mental health. That part in itself, I mean, it is just, that's a lot to live up to. But it means, because we joke, we don't do this for the money because there isn't any. And we give up Francis now joining us as a guest. It's 10:41 on the East Coast, 9:41 here. I think it's noon in California, something like that. For Paul, but we all get together in our times, and again, we are really missing Wade tonight, but he had some things to take care of. But we always are chatting to the week of what are we going to cover, what are we going to do. But messages like this help us understand that it does make a difference. We had it at St. Louis Expo, had a guy come up to us saying, hey, really missed today's show. I know you guys weren't doing it because of the expo, but he's like, I was almost in tears because it's just part of my routine. Another part of the message here. Thanks to all you guys. I think you come across honest and positive. Your passion for the hobby is clear and keeps me excited. Some topics have negative connotations and need to be expressed honestly. I appreciate it all. One thing I love about your podcast that I've done deals with some of the people you interview. It's literally the first time I've ever heard their voice or anything about them. Bought a jersey from Earl. Never knew he was a comedian. Funny way to get to know people you already are kind of familiar with. But again, David, thanks so much for even putting that out there and being wanting to share that. I appreciate you letting us, because I did ask Paul to reach out to him to make sure we could share this publicly and at least use his first name. But it just, again, continues to go to show that we enjoy this and enjoy doing it for entertainment and education and having a good time. I mean, we laugh and we joke and we'll message for an hour afterwards. Hey, great show or whatever. And I mean, we talk for sometimes an hour before, an hour or more after, and we're all dragging the next day. Maybe not Paul, because he can probably sleep in, but the ones of us that have to work are dragging the next day. But again, from the bottom of all of our hearts that do this, and again, not just me, Paul, and Wade, is Francis as a guest, all the other past guests that join us, and the future ones coming, is it truly means a lot to get messages like this or things at expos, or we run into people at games. Hey, thanks so much for doing this. I really enjoy listening. And it helps give us the incentive to keep doing it. Because if we didn't get, not like we're looking for appreciation, but it shows that we're making a difference. And I apologize blanking out at his name. I don't have it in front of me. There's a gentleman talking about wanting to launch his own, kind of hockey collecting podcast. And I've already messaged him like, hey, good for you. Here's the things, gave him some kind of tips and stuff. And he's already got a little bit of tech/podcast background. I'm like, welcome to the club. I'm not ever going to say, no, we've got enough. Everybody's perspective is different. How they want to cover things, how they want to talk about stuff is different. Good for you. There could be 10. You just add them to your queue and listen to one at a time.
Yeah.
But again, thank everybody. Thank you all for the support. Very excited to meet more people I've not met in 2 weeks out in Vegas. Hopefully next year, work it into my schedule. Francis was getting out to Nova and I want to do LA or San Jose. It's just, I wish we made money on a podcast so we could all afford to travel to go to all these and then do it as a write-off. But it's just, it really does mean a lot. So thank you. And if there's other people that want to send us messages like that, we will share them if you give us permission. If not, we'll just share it between us. But again, thank you for the support. Please like, subscribe, follow, do all of those things. If you want to come on, if you want to share topics or say, hey, would you guys consider doing this? Send all of that stuff because we want to continue to grow, make it better, do all the things that keep you guys interested. But with that, again, Francis, thank you so much for coming on and joining us. Congratulations on 20 years. I hope you have another fantastic expo this weekend. And to all of you going out to the expo, please have very safe travels.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate the kind words about the Nova Expo. It really means a lot. Yep.
Well, we will talk to you again soon. Can't wait to hear how it went and see all those pictures. But thank you all. Get some rest because I know you're going to have a busy day once your spring break starts tomorrow afternoon and get rolling with that stuff. And then say at least you get that rest again next week. But can't wait to hear how it went, Francis. And we'll talk again soon.
Yep. Well, you guys have a safe trip to Vegas, and I hope everything goes well out there, which I'm sure it will be. And enjoy the Frozen 4 out there.
Thank you very much. And we'll see everybody next week.